guys, AB Plays here. So today we're going to be talking about the best units in this update. We always do these per update, but this time I kind of decided to test out the units a little bit more before actually making my video on it. But yeah, we're going to talk about the top 3 best units in this update. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who the best are. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with today's video. But before that, actually, I want you guys to know that our goal is to eventually get to 100k subscribers on this AB Plays channel. So if you want to help us reach that goal and be an OG subscriber, then please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But also don't forget to subscribe to my other channel, which covers the Forge content. So if you want to see a different type of content, head on over to my other channel, AB's Gaming, and subscribe to that one too. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so I'm gonna actually list down the units in order of the best to worst, and in order to do that, I'm gonna show you all of them right here in the Fallen Kingdom Trials. At the worst spot, we have Ghoul. Next to Ghoul, we have Jailer as another really bad, not really bad unit, but like in terms of the units in this update 9.5, Ghoul is the worst, Jailer's next, Black Hole is kind of useful still, arguably probably useful than Ghost Girl, but I think Ghost Girl will take the spot mainly because she has a 50% slow that works on bosses, albeit she's a little bit more expensive. She kind of does what Weather Report does, but her AoE is a lot worse. So I think Ghost Girl is going to be better than Black Hole. Top 1 is already pretty much like clear on who that unit's gonna be, but top 3 and top 2 is a little bit more of an option or a little bit more of a discussion. And also I kind of want to talk about, you know, top 1 a little bit more closer as well. But yeah, let's move on to top 3, which is going to be Uma. So Uma is the World Lions unit, and if you haven't really seen my showcase on this unit yet, she is absolutely broken, bro. She is genuinely crazy. She is just absolutely, she does a lot of damage, she does a lot of DPS, and she's absolutely broken. Like, there's literally for infinite. Yeah, she's absolutely broken for infinite and longer game modes. For shorter game modes, she's still kind of decent, but she isn't really as strong for shorter game modes, which is one of the reasons why she's not better than the unit at top 2. And yeah, she's really good. She has high DPS. She's very unique as well. She's very fun to use. She's a very unique unit. She's very interesting as well because her mechanic is, you know, very unique for anime Vanguards. She is technically, she works a lot like Wonder Review, but I think she's definitely a lot better than Wonder Review, unfortunately. Or not unfortunately, but fortunately, she's a lot better than Wonder Review. Sorry to all the Wonder Review fans out there, but she's just really good. But the thing with her is it takes so much time to build her up. Like if you watch my video previously, there's a stat mechanic that you gotta upgrade those stats with points, and there's moods. So you can probably only max her out really in a very long game mode, which 99% of anime Vanguard game modes are not very long. And they really haven't added a lot of long game modes in this game. So for that reason, I think Uma, which is Horse Girl Racing, will stay at number 3. Let's move on to the next unit, which is going to be the unit at number 2. Right, now we got the second unit here at our list, which is very clearly the boss, right? We all know the boss. Okay, sorry, not the boss, but Unstable. So Unstable branded, I mean, sorry, not Unstable branded, but Unstable Psychosis, which is Mob, is the second best unit in the entire game. Now, the reason for this is very simple. Let's take a look at his passives. Every enemy that enters this unit's range increases the meter by 1%, gains plus 100% damage when he reaches stress level 100. He loses 20% SPA, which means he attacks faster, gains 20% range. He also gains the unknown element, and his meter depletes at 3% per second until empty. But after wave 20, he will no longer leave the stress meter. The stress meter will no longer drop, right? But the cool thing about this is, while not in stress mode, the attacks, every unit that this attacks, or every enemy that he attacks, will inflict repulse, or will get repulsed. So for every enemy repulsed, it will increase his damage by 1% up to 100%, right? Obviously, the enemies won't get repulsed if they're dead, being able to gain 100% more damage, you know, basically, effectively, kind of doubling his DPS, sort of. And obviously, he also loses 20% SPA, gains plus 20% range, gains the unknown element. The unknown element, essentially what that means is he becomes unaffected by all stuns, all debuffs, right? Unknown, when you have it, you'll be unaffected by all debuffs, all status effects. You won't be stunned, you won't be energy drained. None of that will work on you. So it's one of the main reasons why that one's pretty cool. Now, also, he also has repulse if he's not in his what do you call this, stress mode, right? But once he does reach the stress mode, that's when he will stop repulsing enemies, like this one right here. This is a stress mode, by the way. He starts to have effects like that. And as you guys can see, his DPS is crazy. It's like 315,000 right now because he was able to repulse a bunch of enemies. It's pretty crazy DPS. This could be even higher if you have somebody like Broly buffing him. Like if I place Broly right here, I activate Wrathful Clash, and then I skip wave a bunch of times. You can see right here that he has a 2.15% crit damage with a 105% crit chance, which essentially kind of doubles his DPS, right? If he has 2.15 crit damage with a 100% crit chance, you multiply 2.15 to 2.44, which will total to about like close to 5 million, and then his DPS, right? So he's very, very good because of those factors. Obviously, combining him with Broly is not that bad because Broly is used in almost every team because of how broken Broly is. And yeah, that's pretty much what makes this unit really, really good. It's basically just the DPS. He's a very simple unit, but sometimes simplicity doesn't mean that unit is bad, right? This unit is very straightforward, but he hits like a truck, and he's a very simple, cool unit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Mob. I think Mob is pretty good, and the reason why he's better than Uma is because he's just more accessible early on, unlike Uma, who will only really start becoming good at the later stages or in infinite mode. So that's one of the reasons why Mob is above Uma or Horse Girl Racing. Now, obviously, we're gonna move on to the number 1, which is pretty obvious at this point. Alright, this is gonna be pretty obvious, and I will be making a separate video about this yet again in the future. This is obviously the number 1 is gonna be Ainz. Surprise, surprise! Ainz is the number 1 unit in this update. Well, the reason why Ainz is the number 1 unit in this update is very, very simple. He has everything. Like I mentioned in the videos that I made when I talked about him a while ago, this unit just has absolutely everything. And there's only a few things that he doesn't have, and he does have some limitations which I will be going over in. Like, for example, right now he's not really attacking his enemies right now because the way that it works is his attacks are his spells. So you pick the spells, and then, you know, those spells that you pick are going to be his attacks. The problem here is the spells have a element requirement. So you have to have a certain number of units with that element in your team in order to be able to use spells. So you need to have, for example, 2 curses to be able to use the spell and 3 curses to be able to use it. So 2 units of a certain element to be able to use the first spell, and 3 in order to be able to use the third spell. And then also, he does have Elementless, and Elementless is his own spell. The problem with this is that with Elementless, if you equip it already and confirm it, you kind of need to restart in order to, you know, use his kit again or to change his spells. And a lot of his kit is kind of stuck behind a long leaderboard, like this one right here, which is basically a nuke that instantly kills all non-boss enemies. And really, really overpowered ability. But this one's only activatable past wave 50 or at wave 50. Arcane Knowledge, again, has weaknesses because you can't really just use all the elements, right? And now, the world items, pretty interesting thing right here. World items there are 6 of them, and these will do a bunch of different things. So this one right here, every wave increase the damage this would deal by 30%. So if I go to like upgrade 10, some of these you need to be at upgrade 10 to use. So every wave okay, so as I use the world item, I'll be able to use this right here. But every wave increases the damage. You basically can tell what it does just by reading it. It's pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of them here. Branch Chief Melikli will be able to make units, all of your units, permanently immune to status debuff and status effects. Caloric Stone, which will allow you to pick a, you know, unit from your team. You'll be able to pick basically another character. So you know how you only have 6 slots right here? Basically, with Caloric Stone, you'll be able to bring a 7th unit. So Ainz is technically a free placement unit, right? Ainz can be part of any team because you can use Ainz to bring another unit. So he can be part of any team, right? That's how good he is. And he has Scroll of Man in Nature, which opens a large circle, which, you know, can teleport. He has this one right here, and he has Ouroboros, which is absolutely broken. He can rewrite HP, which will basically set the HP of any units to whatever number you put here. He can rewrite the wave, which will set it to a wave that you've already beaten. He can rewrite the cost, which will make all of the units that cost, which is again, absolutely broken as well. He has everything, dude. He has a lot of unique stuff about him. He's a pretty cool unit, right? It's a pretty cool unit. So the reason why it's absolutely broken is the caloric stone. Number one, the caloric stone is broken. With the caloric stone, he's basically a unit that you can bring at any point in time. You can bring him with anybody and he'll be fine, because you will be able to bring another unit if you have him with you. You'll be able to use caloric stone in order to bring another unit. So let me do a sample of that. So all right, I'll give myself some cash right here. I'll place down ions, and as you can see right here, I don't have Hollow Knight. I'll use caloric stone to pick up Hollow Knight. I'll place Hollow Knight down, and as you guys can see, there's one Hollow Knight now placed, and I could place all my other units in the back without any issues. You can see that now I have 7 units. I have 1 Sprint Wagon, 2 Sukuna, 3 Mob, 4 Broly, 5 Dio, 6 Ions, and 7 Hollow Knight. So you can use him with virtually any team. And not only can he, again, bring a 7 placement unit, you can also literally bring him with any team, because he has a buff or he has a spell for every team, right? So there's he becomes a different unit depending on the elements that you use him with. So for example, if you're going to bring a lot of curse units, he's going to be a summoner. If you use a lot of passion units, he's going to become a buffer, I believe. If you use Cosmic, he's going to be able to slow enemies down, which is pretty cool. So he definitely is very, very versatile. He's super versatile. And again, his placement cost is only 1,000. So let me actually show you what will happen if I bring a full curse team, just so that you guys can know. So I use my Ghost Girl and replace Mob. So as I replace Mob, now I have basically every curse spell here, or 3 curse units, sorry. And I'll now be able to use all 3 curse spells. So I'll use Greater Undead, Supreme Summoning, and I'll add the Passion spell, or the Elementless spell. The Elementless spell is the one that he has all the time. You can use this even if you just have him alone. And then I also be able to use an Unbound spell or a Passion spell. Actually, yeah, no, I can't use the Unbound spell. But yeah, this one right here, confirm. Now he has his spells, and if I just upgrade him a little bit, you guys will see that he will now start summoning here at the back. And take a look at the HP of the summons that he has. At a very low upgrade, his summons are already high HP, right? I believe this is only upgrade 5. Only upgrade 5. And look at the summons of the goat, right? The HP of the goat is 3.31. HP of Greater Undead is 1.1. Absolutely insane how crazy that is. And this is really, really crazy for killing enemies, bosses, you know, whatever. And you know how I removed Mob? Because, you know, I already have Mob, or I wanted to replace Mob with a curse unit. I can easily just use Caloric Stone to just bring back Mob and, you know, make him part of the team again. As you guys can see right there, he's part of the team again. So yeah, very, very crazy unit, crazy powerful unit. I think I'm gonna make another video on him soon. His main drawbacks are how expensive he is and all the other stuff, but like, dude, it doesn't really matter. This guy is crazy broken. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Peace out.